in 3, 2. Today will be deemed a success only if I'm able to ride the motorbike just once around the block with the dog on the back, filming the whole thing with my homemade GoPro Max camera rig. In order to achieve all that, I need a GoPro Max, got it. I need bits and pieces to make the rig, got that. Sit. I said action. How are you not? I've done quite a bit of filming of myself using GoPro cameras on the motorbike. The first time I did it, I used a GoPro Session, stuck it on my helmet, and I went riding in Namibia through the desert, thinking I was getting National Geographic worthy material, and I wasn't, it was pants. Looking at the same image in the same direction over and over again gets very, very boring very, very quickly. So I thought I would up my game, and I started putting points on the bike where I could attach GoPros using RAM mounts, not limited by having it on my helmet anymore. It meant I could look it to the left, ride along, get that shot, point it forwards, point it up at me even, get that shot. Post-production, I could edit together a little bit of footage that looked a bit more entertaining, but the mechanics of getting it still involved stopping, moving the camera around, riding on again, or what I did last time I was in Africa was using a GoPro Karma grip for stabilisation and hanging off the side of the motorbike while riding along and just angling it to film Jenna. That gives reasonably good footage, but is incredibly dangerous and stupid and not to be advised at all. So the two main things that would be great would be stabilisation that doesn't require a Karma grip, which is, it's in there, it's broken. I fell off and smashed it last time I was using it. And also the ability to look around, take different angles. GoPro Max hopefully solves all of that. The stabilisation on this thing is mind-bending. I don't know how it is doing what it is doing, but it is incredible. And obviously I can change angle without having to do this. I can just stick the camera where I like and film what I want afterwards. So the first thing I'm going to do is work out roughly where the camera needs to be to get the best shot. Okay, so I've got various mounting points already on the bars of the bike. This is a just under 1 meter long selfie pole. So that puts the camera above or out in front of the front wheel. I'm just playing around with different angles to see what will look best. That's coming straight out at 90 degrees. That's coming up more towards 90 degrees vertical. And if I go further out, so that's probably getting on for 1.30 meters. Again, 45 degrees, almost vertical, horizontal. Okay, the first thing that's pretty obvious looking at the footage is that it's going to be very cool indeed. I can see the front wheel and obviously all the bike. Literally it looks like a drone out in front of the bike. Or I can spin that footage around and film where I'm going. I can film off to one side. I can't wait. And I love the idea that Jen rides past me, and as she goes past, the camera just pans and follows her around. This is going to be very, very cool indeed. I have a couple of concerns about a longer pole than 1 meter. Basically, however I rig this up, I'm creating some sort of gigantic spear on the front of the bike. There are many dangers in motorcycling. Adding a spear to your bike is probably not something that's... Also, the transportation. I can't clearly ride with this like some gigantic unicorn pole all the time. I will get pulled over by the police and they will say don't do that. So I need to store this on the bike when I'm riding. Also, if I want a footage shot that is further out in front of the bike, what I'm also going to rig is something on the back of the bike that will film, but can also obviously spin around and film the bike following. I'll do the same on Jen's bike so that I can put this on the back of Jen's bike, and I can then ride as close or as far from Jen as I like and get that shot. So I don't need, although part of me does think that would be quite cool. I'm going to stick with 1 meter for now. Okay, what have I got to make it all with? Well, I've got the pole. From RAM Mount, I have got a ball socket clamp thing. I don't know what they call it. I'll put a link to all the bits I bought down below. On the other end of that, one of these, which is basically a tube on one end that you can put a pole into, and a little nut type socket on the other end that goes into the ball clamp. RAM Mount then supply pipe work that fits into those tubes. This is a a short one, they do longer, but they don't do a metre long one. So I had to buy that because it came with it. But the idea here is to go from the ball into the ball socket, not using the round mount pole because I have my own. When I measured it, was roughly the same size as the slot on there. Now it's not perfect. When I say it's not perfect, it's no way near perfect. I'm wondering how it's going to... I'm wondering if my pole is going to be too thick. I thought I was being really clever by getting pipe work. These things, 2 bits of pipe together, an extendable long enough to all this gubbins under here. I have just discovered that the selfie pole that I bought off of Amazon the other day, I have this thing from GoPro. This is useless it's useless for lots of things. I had this pole, was my go-to pole. This pole has been across the sand dunes of Africa to the bottom of the Red Sea, but it's heavy. I went on Amazon, I just googled carbon fibre selfie pole made by Smartree. I'll stick a link down below. It fits perfectly into that mounting point on there, which means I've saved myself a ton of work, but I was quite looking forward to making it. Okay, so riding the bike, I'd be in this position here. Let's give it a little move around. Okay, this is where the stabilisation is going to be interesting, because at the end of this 1 metre long pole, even just the tiniest movement through the handlebars is shaking the camera. We can hopefully film from down low, which would be quite a cool angle. We can film from up high. Testing it for wiggle stability. That Smartree extension pole, the socket on the end of there, which allows you to attach it to the other half of the selfie pole, also fits into one of those little guys, the GoPro grip with a standard screw fixing on the end, which means I can run the camera at that distance. So if I don't want to upset law enforcement, I reckon I can get away with the camera sat up there. I can always fold it down slightly out of the way. And down here on the bike, I mounted ages ago a ball socket on here, and again, same round mount fixings. Short selfie pole, I can put the long one out there. I can put the camera down closer to the front wheel, spin it around towards the back of the bike and film the back wheel. With the selfie pole on there sticking right out, I'll actually get the camera going out back past the rear wheel, which will look very, very cool. Obviously the plan was to go out on the motorbike. Now, I can't go out on the motorbike because my moron child has locked his bicycle to my motorbike and then gone out for the day taking the key. Plan B, I have fixed the ram mount onto the mountain bike. So here's the ram mount, the ball socket going into the clamp, and then the selfie pole. Okay, we are not on a motorbike, but a bicycle will have to do. We have the dog, we have the non-stupid child to use as a simulation for somebody else riding a motorbike beside me. And we have our rig and our GoPro Max. Let's go for a ride. You ready?
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring. How you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart, are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs, are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear